Hello, Living Dead Dolls fans. This is Josh, aka Doggiepants, coming at you in partnership with Mezco Toys for another Living Dead Dolls review. So, today we're going to be taking a look at actually 3 dolls, all from the same movie series, but they have all recently came out together, and I thought it might make sense to just review them all at once, as opposed to creating a separate video for each one. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Terrifier series. And I have to admit, I haven't seen these movies. I know that they are like hardcore violent and people love them and they're supposed to be incredible. And I've meant to watch them, but I just haven't yet. I love horror films. Sometimes the really gruesome, like tortury ones are not for me, but we'll see. I want to give it a chance. But I know that people are obsessed with these and the dolls have done very well. So today we're going to be taking a look at the original one, the con exclusive bloody version, and then of course the little pale girl, which just recently came out as well. We're going to take a look at all 3 at the same time, but I'm going to start with the boxes. So let's take a look at the first box. Here we go. It does say LDD presents Damien Leone's Terrifier, and it looks like the background, you know, is kind of a little industrial, a little like basementy looking, with just a little bit details happening there. The back of the box itself, it looks like a red and black stripe, but it's very kind of dark and similar in color, very moody. On the sides, we have an image of the doll, and then on the back, we've got a close-up image of his face. Again, it says LDD presents Damien Leone's Terrifier, and then Mezco Toys down at the bottom. But a very, standard window box for the LDD Presents. The only difference between this and the con exclusive, of course, is the Mezco exclusive sticker that we get in the top left corner of the bloody version. But otherwise, boom, they are 100% identical. Now, the little pale girl is slightly different. It is from Terrifier 2. So it does say LDD presents Damien Leone's Terrifier 2, Little Pale Girl. We've got a picture of the dolls on the side and then a full-blown picture on the back. The background, hers is like green, where theirs is kind of gray, black, and red. So you can see the little difference there. But they do display nicely together. And then her background is that black and red stripe as well behind where you see the doll on display. So I'm going to use these so we can have them up nice and high for you all to see. But yeah, let's take a look at these dolls. So I'm going to start with the normal version of the Terrifier. And here he is. I'm trying to get him to stand on these boxes nicely, but there you go. You can see him in all his glory. Again, got some new clowns, which is really cool. But let's take a look at his outfit. So his outfit is all one piece. It's like a giant jumpsuit. It's a really nice material. It's got some stretch to it. It's like a thin cotton stretch, all one piece, black and white, with the black pom-poms there on the front that are just sewn on. He does have a little like frilly collar, white on the top, black below that. There is a little bit of elastic around the wrists. So I'm going to pull those so you can see that it does have a little stretch to it. No elastic at the bottom. And then he does have really intense shoes. I think they're actual shoes. Some of these LDD Presents, they're actually like part of the mold that the feet can turn and have a little joint in them. His do not. And I don't think... Well, we'll get to the next one, but I don't think any of them do. So I think these could come off, but I haven't really tried to pry them because these are those clown shoes that are really hard to get off. They're a hard plastic. They've got kind of that bulbous toe thing going on. But I'm assuming he's got normal feet under there. No socks, though, for him. Again, all one piece, does Velcro here up the back. But what's interesting, and I'm just now realizing, is that it does Velcro up the back, but it looks like it's actually sewn here at the top. So even if you were to open it, I'm not sure you could actually take this off of him without popping his head off. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but whatever. So yeah, that's his outfit. Where he really, really shines is the mold for this doll. And I'm gonna start with the gloves. So the gloves are actually molded on. And he's got really dirty fingers. This is all, again, part of the mold. But it's a really nice paint job, a really nice detail. And again, it's on the kind of gripping hand as well. And then, of course, this incredible face mold that we have going on. Now, the fabric around the head is part of the mold. That's not any kind of fabric. You can't take that off. But he does have some really great face paint, some bright green eyes, some really disgusting teeth, black lips there, his oh so draggy eyebrows that he's got going on, and then this cute little hat that is glued. It's tacked on, so that's not going to be going anywhere, but that does have some texture on it as well. And then he and the bloody version do come with these little hatchets. And they do look very similar to hatchets we've seen from Living Dead dolls in the past. The paint job on this one, though, is really, really pretty. Nicely done, fits perfectly in his hand, not going anywhere. So that is the original Terrifier. I'm going to hold him up next to the bloody version as well, which we're going to take a look at. Oop, let me get him to stand a little bit better. And bear with me, this is actually balancing on their boxes, so they do stand nicely. It's just a little wonky where they're at right now. So yeah, the outfits are very, very similar. As you can see, I'm not going to be going through each one of them. Again, the shoes are the same. The only difference here is that we see blood staining all throughout the outfit. It's covered pretty much every inch. We don't see any, do we see some on the, yeah, we see some on the toes of the boots as well. And it even makes it onto the accessories. So the accessory is bloody in the way that the original was not. And then, of course, we've got some intense blood splattering on his face there. But otherwise, a very similar version to the original doll that we saw. Blood splattering on the gloves as well. So the paint job is just really, really nice on this doll. But yeah, that is the con version and the regular version of the Terrifier. So now let's take a look at the latest one that came out. And that, of course, is the little pale girl. Ooh, she's got a little fuzzy on her. There we go. And here she is. Look at that hair. Absolutely insane. Her outfit is the same material as the original Terrifier. So it's that stretchy cotton. It does have that same kind of black and white thing going on with her dress. And then we see black and white socks. Now, I was a little disappointed to see that she doesn't come with shoes, but it looks like the character doesn't wear shoes from what I could tell in the movie, so I will not fault them for that. But it does mean that she's going to be a little bit harder to stand if you display her out of her coffin, so just be aware of that. She does have elastic around the arms as well. Her pom-poms are white versus his being black. And then the little ruffle is a little bit further on her shoulders, I think, than his. The dress feels a little loose, which I think is intentional for the design of the doll. And then we've got bloody fingers, which I think is really nice. Now hers does actually Velcro all the way up, including the ruffle. So you could possibly take this dress off if you'd like to. I think where she really shines is her hair. So the hair has got some tease in it, and it's meant to look kind of dirty and filthy, which I love. The left side is taken down, and it's like, it's not thinly rooted, but it's not super thick either. I think if they had gone too thick, it just would have been a huge mess with trying to put a little tease in there. And then this one is put into a ponytail on this side. Pretty standard to what we see in the ponytail, where it's just rooted around the edges on this side. And you can see where her part is. It's a little offside there. And then we've got this little teeny white hat. This is made out of kind of a thinner plastic. I wish it was made similar to the hats that are on the Terrifier. That was a little bit more substantial. This one feels like an old school Living Dead Dolls hat. That same plastic that sometimes tears or breaks. So you're probably going to want to be careful with this. And it looks like it's, yeah. So the way that they've got this in place, I'm going to try to show this on the video without breaking it. you can see that it's got a little clear piece of elastic, that clear plastic that we see that they put pigtails in the Living Dead dolls. She has that as well. Then the pigtail is fed through this hole in the top of the hat. And then the hat has like, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see this, but there's a little, you know, those pieces of plastic that hold tags on your clothes that have like, you know, it's like a T. That's what's holding her hat through the head, I believe. So the hat doesn't come off unless you clip that. So if you were interested in taking the hat off, just make sure, or you would need to break that piece of plastic in order to make that happen. I'm, of course, not going to do that. I like the doll the way she is. I think she's very cute. Her face paint is also terrifying. See what I did there? Green eyes with a little bit of red around the outside of the eyes. Again, that same draggy arched eyebrow. She's got the like jester lines on the eyes. And then that same kind of black smile that we're seeing on the original Terrifier, and the little black dot on the tip of her nose as well. Now, where he's got a whole new sculpt for his face, her sculpt is just a standard Living Dead doll's face. So I kind of love that because you get to see his makeup on what an actual Living Dead doll would look like. So it's a nice little detail there. I'm gonna put all three of them up so you can see them at once. There we go. Those are the three dolls. Hey! So yeah, that is the Terrifier series. I think they've done a really nice job. It does make me want to watch the movies. You know, I will always say I'm a much bigger fan of the normal Living Dead dolls than I am of the LDD Presents, but I know that the LDD Presents sell very well. People love to have kind of a representation of horror movies that they adore. So totally fine. I don't know if these will stay in my permanent collection. Depends on how I feel about the movie after I watch it. Or the mini movies. I think there's quite a few out now, so I'm way behind. But yeah, those are the dolls. I think that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. Bye.